Hi, I'm Bill Reinking. I'm chairman of the board. I came to the bank in 1964, which would make it 48 years now. This is the bank that has always supported community activities and philanthropic activities, and one that I've been very proud to be a part of, and I know it will continue into the future.
Yeah, the Exchange Bank has 18 offices in Sonoma County, 1 in Sacramento County. We have 400 full-time equivalent employees. We do make a conscious effort to hire individuals that care about community, and I think that's a big reason why we have been so active in our civic and charitable work.
Both Frank and Melville Doyle. Back in 1890 when this bank was found, their record of what they did for the community is unparalleled. They're recognized as probably the greatest philanthropists of their time. And it continued for so many years, whether it be the Golden Gate Bridge, State Park System, Sonoma County Fair, rebuilding after the earthquake. Their achievements are unbelievable, and they put in this bank an attitude of giving back. I think that it's important to every individual to make a difference, and working for us gives our employees that chance, whether it's the human race or their own particular charities that they're involved in. But we give them the opportunity, we encourage it, we support them, and oftentimes you can't do that on your own without somebody helping you along the way, and we do that.
Yeah, I think that there are a number of companies like the Exchange Bank that see themselves part of the tapestry that we call the community. We're not an island. We're not separate from the rest of the community, and when we're helping to build stronger kids, stronger families, stronger community, that's good for business too. Few organizations I can think of that we're not involved in. The depth and breadth of our activities span from youth groups, YMCA, Boys and Girls Clubs, COTS, homeless shelter, the food bank.
I'm David Goodman, and I am the Executive Director of the Redwood Empire Food Bank in Santa Rosa, California. We've been open to help people in need for 25 years. In 20 of those years, we've had the involvement of Exchange Bank, a community bank, one community bank to another. Exchange Bank helps us in many different ways. This past year, they contributed 270 employees to help us pack food boxes for children, for seniors, sort produce, etc. They also sponsored food drive barrels that we placed throughout businesses during the holidays. And they also provide financial support, both to get food to people in need who are hungry today, but they also provide financial support in terms of financing that will help us build our Brickway facility. In fact, you can hear the construction in the background as they're building our freezer cooler right now that will provide fresh produce to tens of thousands of people every year in our community.
The Bank Foundation, which the board runs, there is an application process for that. That goes back many years ago when that foundation itself got started, and it is strictly a board function. It's been a bank that has encouraged and supported philanthropic efforts for as long as I've been here. And it's something that we're very proud of, and we will continue into the future.
To talk about my philanthropy, I need to start with Moira, my wife, and what she did before she died. Not only what she did, but the kind of person she was. Incredible, dynamic, amazing. And she did a lot of things. She was on the board of the Community Alliance for Family Farmers, CAF. She was the chair of the Sierra Club Land Use Committee. She taught English to farm workers, pro bono. And when she died, she left a huge vacuum in this community. I felt I had to do something to try and at least partly fill her shoes. But I didn't know how. And I turned to an organization I knew about,
I'm Rick Theis, the founder and board chair of the Leadership Institute for Ecology and the Economy. We were organized in the year 2000 to educate leaders in the community to create public policy that will support a sustainable future. We recognize the need that leaders in this community need to balance both the environmental and social equity interests of the community with the financial interests.
And they put on a class which met one day a month for 9 months. Each session would cover a different aspect of the problems in sustainability. It might be water, traffic, housing, social equity. And so it gave me the background in two things. First, the knowledge of the problems that we have today. And secondly, the processes by which we can address those problems. How to talk to public officials, how to get your voice heard. That was very important in giving me the confidence to move forward and seek out other organizations that could help me find the people I wanted to find to support in my philanthropy. Bread for the Journey does very much what I was looking to do when I first started, which is to find small organizations that need some kind of a push to get started. I asked them the same question I was asking everybody at that time. Do you know of a small organization that needs this kickstart? And they said, Cathryn at Ceres. When I met Cathryn, that was an amazing experience. It was at a cafe in Windsor, and when she walked in, she changed my life. It was that fast. I knew instantly that I had met someone who had exactly the qualities I was looking for, who really had her act together, and is someone who I really wanted to support. And I was right.
I'm Cathryn Couch. I'm the founder and executive director for Ceres Community Project, a nonprofit that's based in Sebastopol and serves all of Sonoma County, and now actually has projects around the country as well. We started in 2007, March 2007, with a really simple idea: bring teenagers into the kitchen and teach them how to cook healthy food by having them volunteer as the chefs in a program providing meals for people dealing with life-threatening illness. We started in a church kitchen in Sebastopol with 6 teens and myself, all volunteer, cooking for 4 families. And in that first year, we provided about 4,500 meals to, I think, 21 families. We had about 30 kids in the program. I'm really excited to have Greg be honored in this way, because he really is the most important partner that we've had at Ceres. And from the very first time I met with Greg at the end of 2007, Ceres was a 5 or 6 month old little tiny volunteer project. And 5 years later, we're based in a 3,000 square foot building in Sebastopol. This year we're going to provide 40,000 free meals. We have about 125 kids active in the program now.
I would encourage people to become involved. The payback is in, I don't want to get too airy-fairy here, but it's good karma. You just feel good. And when you see the good that you're doing and the difference you can make in people's lives, it gives you something that'll last you the rest of your life.
My name is Deisy Vargas, and I'm a student at the Santa Rosa Junior College. This is my second year. I would like to transfer to a 4-year university. I would like to major in communications and receive a minor in political science or human services. I feel that through communications, I'm able to communicate messages in different forms to the community that really need to hear what's going on, especially resources that are out available for them. I come from a low-income family where my mother is a single mother. My father passed away when I was 6 years old, and at that time we were living in Mexico. And so my mom saw herself kind of in a hole. She wasn't sure what to do without my father, since he was the primary source of income for us. And so that's when she decided that, you know, we needed to come where most of her family was, which was here in the United States, to be able to help ourselves one day get out of that hole that we were in. And so when we arrived here, of course we arrived with nothing. I remember I just carried a small backpack. We started living in a one single room, It was all of us in there, my mom, my brother, and I. And so it was really hard to be able to, you know, bring friends over or to even do homework or anything because we were just really crowded there. And so from then on, my mom started to receive some help from the local food banks, from the Salvation Army with the toys. Different organizations were helping us out so that one day we can eventually be able to live on our own and my mother could support both of us. I joined a leadership group called DIG, which stands for Drug Intervention Group, at the age of 12. And so what we did there was a lot of community service. So I started out by going to health fairs and giving out information related to health and safety. But then later on, I decided to actually be part of something bigger, which was reducing underage drinking and raising awareness on the consequences that underage drinking causes. So through that, I was involved in 3 campaigns, which I still am.
My name is Vince Harper, and I am the Senior Program Manager for Community Action Partnership of Sonoma County. The agency that I work for is a nonprofit, local nonprofit in Sonoma County, and we provide a variety of human services. Deisy entered our leadership program when she was in 9th grade, our DIG Youth Leaders program, and so early on we had already seen she had some great leadership skills. Even though she was very quiet, she wasn't afraid to get things done. So she put in hundreds of hours of community service, became our first youth intern. She ended up really excelling and over the years has become our primary and most important leader within our youth leadership program. She has planned events, South Park Day and Night Festival, which we have just completed. We
started doing this festival 4 years ago, and so it was a result of a young man's death in the area of South Park. It was something negative that happened 4 years ago, like I mentioned, and so since then there was families who did not feel safe to come out in the neighborhood. It would be really early in the day and families would not be playing in the park. You wouldn't see anybody outside, and so we said, you know, we need to do something about this. This is not okay. Yes, just because one negative thing occurs does not mean that the residents need to be afraid and scared, you know, for the rest of their lives. They have so many resources here. There's a youth center, there's a Head Start. So we came together and we partnered with Santa Rosa Recreation and Parks, the Santa Rosa Police Department, and the Mayor's Game Prevention Task Force, and we decided to have this festival. It's just very, I think, important for a young person to understand the value of volunteering, because as they grow up, they will be able to, of course, get those skills and also make a difference in their lives and in someone else's life. Just how, you know, volunteering made a difference in my life, I know it can make a difference in a person's life.
Rotary International was founded in 1905 by a few businessmen trying to set up a cross-section of the community to do good. It currently has 1.2 million members involved in 34,000 clubs in over 200 countries. One of our philosophies is that peace through fellowship is probably the most successful way to generate peace throughout humankind. One of the local projects that, and this is one of many, one of the local projects that we embark on is the dental project. There are a lot of children that are underserved by dental. We have put together a trailer that has a lot of mobile chairs and equipment. The Santa Rosa Junior College through Esben Jen has, and what is also one of our members, has puts together a second-year students from the dental hygiene, and we bring along dentists we'll go to an elementary school out in some underserved area of Sonoma County and provide cleaning and education around dental hygiene. We now currently, once a month, have a clinic at the Santa Rosa JC where we can do a little bit more significant work with those children.
My particular involvement has been with an organization called Rebuilding Together. Rebuilding Together is a nationwide organization that we work with, and it as an organization in Santa Rosa does a rebuilding project for usually senior citizens or someone who is in a need of having some home repairs or refurbishments done. We meet a couple of times prior to the actual project, and then we have the last Saturday in April as our project day. Usually about 25 or 30 people from our club will show up, and we do everything from re-roofing homes to replacing kitchen sinks to putting in new appliances, roof repairs, whatever is needed to make a home more livable for someone who can't afford to keep it that way themselves.
We also do things for the youth, and we have a couple of things in our club that we do. We have a program called Support Our Students, which started as a truancy program, and very quickly we realized that it was a bigger issue than truancy. So we now have formed an alliance with Sonoma State University Counseling, and we send out counselors to the school sites to counsel these kids, not on school issues, but on life issues. And that program has been going on since 1991 and will continue in our club as well. And additionally, we do something for the kids that are doing well. We have an Interact Club at Elsie Allen High School. What Interact is a high school program for students, very similar to the Rotary setup. So they have weekly meetings, they do community projects for which they raise the money, and then they go out and do the projects. And hopefully we really hope that when a child graduates high school and goes into college, that they then join the Rotaract Club, which is the next level up before Rotary. So Interact is like the first step for these kids, and it's a wonderful program to teach them the value of service above self.
Rotary activities rely on the fundraising and the support of our community, and if you've been giving to Rotary in the past, I just want to say thank you for that. We're doing everything we can to make sure your donations go to worthy causes. If you haven't had a chance to donate, I invite you to do so and to participate in this. It's exciting and it's rewarding.
My name is Bill Friedman, and I'm president of Friedman's Home Improvement.
And my name is Barry Friedman, vice president of Friedman's Home Improvement.
Our business started in 1946, 66 years ago in Petaluma by my father Benny and Uncle Joe Friedman. Our history is so deep-rooted in the community, starting in Petaluma and then moving to Santa Rosa in 1971. We have a store in Ukiah, we have a store in Sonoma. Our new store going to be open next year, 2013, in Petaluma.
We try to be proactive in our giving by sponsoring and being partners with large community organizations, but also we believe in the grassroots approach by the simple request of a Little League or a Cub Scout troop that wants an item for a raffle prize. And we've given to over 150 organizations so far through August of this year. Just the need is, like you're saying, is great out there in the community. And we do what we can, but there's obviously more out there that needs to be done. We also believe that not only giving necessary funds to help the community, but to participate in the community. And one of the programs that we sponsor through the Volunteer Center is Hands-On, powered by Friedman's. And what this does is inspire volunteerism in Sonoma County by identifying projects and linking that up with necessary volunteers.
My name is Matt Martin, and I'm the Executive Director of Social Advocates for Youth. I have the honor and pleasure of being the Executive Director of Social Advocates for Youth because it's a very special place. SAY has been providing hope, support, and opportunity in the lives and families of Sonoma County since 1971. And we're here today in our Sonoma County because of people like Bill and Susie Friedman, or Friedman's Home Improvement. Bill and Barry came over one October afternoon about 2 years ago and was walking through the facility. Staff were there. Everyone was very excited. It was the first time, again, we were having the Friedman family over for a visit at our house. And so as we were walking through, we got to the place in the tour where the refrigerator is. And see, we provide drop-in services to all homeless youth. And so a young person could just drop by the Coffee House Teen Shelter and get a meal, which is something that's, again, a major need of these young people who are in these crisis situations. And so we were passing by the refrigerator, and Bill stopped, put his hand on the handle, and just yanked open that refrigerator and looked inside and began asking the staff, what do we need? And our street outreach coordinator, her name is Lisa Fatu, turned to Bill and said, we need milk. We just had a group of boys here and they drank all our milk because these kids never get milk at all when they're on the streets. So Bill was quiet. He shut the door. We finished the tour. Bill and Barry drive off in their respective cars, and I get into my car, I drive away too. Literally, maybe not even 2 minutes later, I get a phone call from Lisa at the shelter, so excited, and just really almost at the top of her lungs talking about how Bill Friedman, when he shook her hand, has slipped a $100 bill into her hand and whispered into her ear, this is for milk. So, I am so proud to be able to be here, getting a chance to honor one of our greatest champions as social advocates for youth, Bill and Susie Friedman of Friedman's Home Improvement, our very own milkman of Sonoma County.
You know, I have been asked so many times what brought me into philanthropy, and I have to say it started at a very young age with my mother and father. My father always taught me that you always take care of the community that has taken care of you.
We've always believed in supporting the communities in which we live and work. It is nice to be recognized, but there are a lot of other people out there that are doing a lot of the groundwork that make these organizations that we support operate, and we appreciate all of them and for what they're fulfilling their missions, and we just are glad to be a little part of that to make things happen. And it does take a community to raise a community, and we hope that we can inspire other businesses to do the same, and thank you.